Speak Easy Studios. Speak and be heard.
What effect does stress have on your life? How does it affect your relationships? What about your business? My name is Lynn of It's Why, and my clients call me the identity coach because they discover how to take back control of who they want to be and how they react to stress. This message needed to get out to a larger group of people. So I created a group that helps people identify and manage the stress they never realized they had. We're going to explore questions that challenge you to find your inner power that got buried so deep within because of that stress, and take back control of the situations that cause that stress in your daily life. A small change can make the biggest difference. You make the difference. Welcome back to this week's edition of MeMonday. For those of you who are returning, I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new, I'm so glad you've decided to learn a little bit more about a me time routine. Last week, we talked about new beginnings. This week, we're going to talk about small steps. So let's start with this question. Have you ever felt like taking small steps doesn't allow you to complete your goals fast enough? We're always in a hurry. We always want it done yesterday. But is that a good approach? When you can approach your goals by taking small steps and you take big steps instead, and you take them too quickly, the journey can definitely become more difficult. And it's going to take you longer to get where you want to go. Have you ever been in such a hurry that you may have tried to take multiple steps at a time as you're climbing stairs? I don't know about you, but I've done that a few times, and I've had my moments where I tried to take a few steps going up, and somehow I ended a few more steps back down at the bottom. Kind of the same thing when you try to take too many steps at once to achieve your goals. But think about this. It can feel like time limits measure your success. So when you're racing to get to that deadline, it could be tough. And maybe sometimes those time limits do determine whether or not we're achieving a goal. Let's think about this, though. It's important to identify which deadlines are set for us and which deadlines we set for ourselves. Have you thought about that? Does your daily to-do list set a timeline for you that may not necessarily be prohibitive? It just feels that way? Like everything has to be done by the end of the day? Those are examples of a deadline that you could set for yourself. What happens when you don't finish those things by the end of the day? So you may have to add things that change your daily life, things that you may not have ever expected, and you wouldn't have expected those changes to be long-lasting. And now that kind of upsets the way things feel as you're going through your everyday, and it feels like those deadlines aren't set by choice. So when you consider the possibility that you may be responsible for setting some of these timelines, how might you want to do things differently in this new year? Yes, we're in the first month of the year, and there's a lot of how do I want to change things? What do I want to do differently? Or what do I want to do that I haven't accomplished before? It's those darn New Year's resolutions that haunt us for the first month of the year in many cases. So as you ask yourself some questions and try to formulate those answers, it may feel like you're trying to put all the pieces of a puzzle together. An endless puzzle that doesn't seem to want to go together so that you can see the final picture. It can feel like completing that puzzle is impossible. What if you considered who you could ask for help with that puzzle, finding all those puzzle pieces, instead of going at it alone? And how you may provide this assistance to others who are trying to do the same. How might we support each other in this upcoming year? Sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. An unknown author once said. What comes up for you when you hear that? Tiptoe if you must, but take the step. Tiptoe? We're already talking about taking small steps. How can I go even smaller than that? I'll never accomplish anything. You might be thinking that. The truth is, when you take small steps, you usually accomplish bigger things. As we're talking about me time routines every week when we come back, I'll ask you to think about all the daily responsibilities that you might encounter in this upcoming year, and how can you think about ways that you can best care for yourself so you can accomplish everything that you want to. Because that really is the foundation of everything better. At least I believe that. So if you could celebrate MeMonday regularly by scheduling me time, if you're not already doing it, once a week throughout 2024, how might it feel? Another author, Alan Cohn, once said, "Don't wait until the conditions are perfect to begin. Beginning makes the conditions perfect." So if you haven't celebrated MeMonday this year, I should say, if you haven't celebrated MeMonday in 2023, this is the perfect time to start that new beginning and begin with a me time routine on MeMonday in 2024. You deserve it. If me time already feels great every Monday for you returning listeners, try adding another me day to each week in 2024, whichever day might feel most comfortable for you. MeMonday is about to look even better this year. Thank you so much for returning to listen to MeMonday this week. And I hope that you've asked yourself a few questions during this episode and you have some ideas on what you want to plan in this upcoming year. If you're new, please return next week. Thank you so much for listening and have a great Me Week.